Monday, everyone. I can feel the Monday spirit. It's sunny outside and warm. It's kind of like you can never win in a lecture. Like nobody wants to come if it's sunny and warm outside. And nobody wants to come if it's rainy and dark outside either. So here you want to be at home if it's rainy and dark, or you want to be outside if it's sunny and warm. So I thought we would start today with a fun question, a challenging question. And yeah, let's start. It's about assignment 1, surprise, surprise. Hello, Bob. I have a question regarding the first coursework for CSC 337. One of my visualizations, I have made a custom query on the Project Tycho website in order to acquire data concerning all the diseases reported in the USA. I was mainly interested in visualizing the historical prevalence of the diseases, and I decided to use the area charts to achieve this. However, the result attached was a little surprising. It appears that parts of the data are completely missing. The diseases appear and disappear as if they were only tracked for periods of time. I have re-queried Project Tycho to ensure that pieces of the dataset are not missing, but I haven't been able to find any mistakes in my methodology. The question I have is, does the attached visualization look normal, or would you agree that something is off? From this particular visualization, we probably conclude that the data is not complete. Would this be a sensible, unique observation for the coursework? So that's a challenging question, and this is, I like this question and these questions because they get to the heart of some of the challenges in this topic. And the topic is this: it's a special set of skills to look at an image and think and know if it's correct or not. That's a special set of skills that take time to develop. So I guess I can start by looking at this image and giving my opinion, which is not going to be, it's not going to be like the end of the story. My opinion is not the end of the story in this question. But when I look at this, so from Project Tycho, I also think, okay, yes, there are going to be some diseases wherever you are, whichever country you're in, that rise and fall. However, usually nature behaves in a smooth fashion if you study nature and data. So it doesn't usually happen that there's 0 people with a disease and then 1 million people with the disease within an hour. Usually things in nature follow curves and nice smooth curves. So I would expect diseases to rise and fall. And that's something I would expect. But if you see sharp corners or unnatural looking turns, that's not an artifact of nature. That's an artifact of human error. So when I look at this, I see some smooth curves. Right? I like this area chart, by the way, and I do see some smooth curves, like here's a kind of smooth curve, and here might be some kind of smooth curves. But I also see edges that are not produced by nature or by natural data. So I look here and I see, okay, something has gone wrong here. This is like, there were no diseases. Like there weren't like 10 diseases that went from 0 to I don't know what to 900K or something in one day or 1 year or anything like that. Any short time span. So the tricky part of this area chart is it's a mixture of correct data. It looks like to me, I haven't seen the data, and incorrect data. Like something has things have gone right in some areas and things have gone wrong in other areas. That's my experienced opinion. And then the next question is, well, what do you do about it? And that's another set of skills. What do you do about this situation? Like, how do you determine if something is correct or not? What strategies can you use? Any ideas? I'm sure that some of you have some ideas, but you're just too afraid to say anything in front of such an audience. But I feel some waves of thought energy penetrating my skull from the audience. Some of you have ideas. I'm picking up signals. Do I have to read your minds? It's okay. You don't have to say anything because I can read your minds. It's fine, but you don't have to say anything. You want to say something?
Could you try ignoring some of the data if it has a straight line for a certain period of time? It would show there's data missing, so you choose to ignore that. Whereas the line that changes quite a lot in a short period of time probably has more data.
I wouldn't necessarily ignore any of the data unless you have a very good reason.
Just choose not to make another visualization.
I guess in this case, in the case you're describing, I would want to know why the data was the way it was, if that makes any sense. Another?
Maybe you could interpolate it to show how the projection would look like.
Yeah, interpolation is definitely a possibility. I wouldn't choose interpolation for this particular problem, but in general, interpolation is a good strategy to fill in missing values. But I wouldn't interpolate this data set. I don't think that you might run into, you might invent diseases that don't exist, over time periods. So I should ask everybody to say their name. Carrie.
I'm not sure if this is what it is. Look at particular wins and then just focus on line, try and figure out what's going on.
That is part of the right strategy. So one strategy is to simplify the data set, choose one disease, and just look at it with a bar chart, or a pie chart, or a line chart, a normal line chart. So simplify the data set, choose one possibly, and use your trusted sources. Is it Tony?
Yeah.
Tony.
I noticed that in the data set, the date format is not consistent. So that's probably the reason why this person isn't getting it correct.
That's awesome. It's an awesome observation. I didn't know that the data sets are not always in the same format. So that's a very good observation. What's another strategy you could use to verify? What we're talking about is verification of correctness. How do I know if I see what I see is correct? Any other strategies besides the simple strategies of bar charts and simplifying the data? Ziggy.
Yeah.
Tell us, Ziggy.
It's like kind of for natural data especially. Usually fit to some sort of Gaussian curves, like seeing if similar to Gaussian mixture modeling, possibly seeing if they fit to those kind of general curves of the data, and then it's probably right. And if it's too far removed from that natural data, there could be some errors kind of thing.
That sounds just like what I said. I think you were a minute late. Were you a minute late?
Yeah.
You just said in another way what I already said. Look for smooth curves rather than these strange straight edges that don't occur in nature. Name? Luke.
Could you maybe try a different form of scaling for count value? Because I noticed a lot of maximum values are extremely high.
Mm-hmm.
To the point where if there's just moderate outbreaks, because even on what looks like a flat line, it could be reaching into the thousands, which isn't completely easy.
Yes, definitely you could play with the visual design parameters and adjust them and see what happens. Notice what the effects are. Definitely. How about this one? Why don't you use your pencil and paper Like, get out your pencil and paper. I know, do you guys still use those? And look at the data in a spreadsheet and see if any of the data matches what's on the area line chart. So for example, I could get out my spreadsheet, look at the year 1995, and then count the disease values for the year 1995 with a pencil and paper and see if there is a correspondence. Hopefully there is. But that is a second strategy, just getting out a pencil and paper and checking manually, so to speak, if what you see matches on the spreadsheet, what you see here. What name?
Marcelli?
Marcelli.
Yeah. So you can also use subtotals sometimes if you want to verify whether
Use what?
subtotals or like
Subtitles.
subtotals.
Subtotals. Okay.
So when you want to verify that something stacks up correctly, you can just
Yep, you could add, use subtotals to add up. Also, if this is a piece of software like Tableau, you can hover your mouse over the different areas and it will tell you what data it is looking at or what data it is using to plot those curves. Any other ideas? This is a skill, by the way, to verify what you see is correct. It's a skill, and it gets difficult in cases like this when you have high dimensional data and big numbers and large data sets. Who's going to say something? Luke? Name?
Faris.
Ferris.
So there seems to be data from multiple different sources. So I can see, I've noticed looking on VisGuide, somebody had looked at some of the data, and obviously you need to make sure it comes from the same source, because sometimes they do total throughout the whole year, a few records, and then some of them don't. So if you just count all the values, you're kind of repeating the data and accumulating a large quantity, if that makes sense. So you could take the non-cumulative data for a year, so it might have specific time intervals, and you can sum that, and then there's time intervals which are actually the whole year as well. So if you just sum all of those, you might have an incorrect value because you're taking into account different sources that the data is coming from.
That sounds very similar to the answer with like focus on one subset or one disease or one time period and then just look at that using simpler visual designs like pie charts and line charts. I can think of two more things that are possible. Sam.
Good one. Some you look at the data in between 1982 and 2006, then you will enlarge the data
2006. Yep.
from 1982.
1982. Okay. Yep.
Then the graph might be enlarged and you can analyze more.
Yep. That's true. That's true. Yep. Focus on special subsets.
You can also scale the data. So, for example, if you have the data for the states, then you know that the population of one state is much bigger than the other one. You will have elevated values, so then you can just scale according to that, and you might have more relative values.
Yep. Another idea and general strategy I use is to compare my image with other images of the same data or same data set. So now you can compare, because of VisGuides, you guys can compare what you have with other people. But Project Tycho also has published a lot of images on their website of this data set. So you can compare whatever images you generate with previously existing images. That's another very general and good strategy to verify if what you have or what you think you have is correct. And a fourth strategy is to post it on VisGuides and ask. That's another strategy. You can post it, and that's not really that special. It's special in the sense that VisGuides is dedicated to visualization, but this strategy could be used in any scenario, any subject, like for anything, is what I'm doing correct. If you were taking, I don't know, a Shakespeare's literature course, you could, I'm sure there are Shakespeare forums online that you can post to and say, like, what does everybody think of my Shakespeare theory? That's called crowdsourcing. Like, ask a large collection of people for their intelligence. There's some risk in that, but this guy's, in this case, reduces the risk. Any other things? So those are the 4 things that I could think of. There are probably others that I didn't think of, but those are the 4 things that I thought of. Make simpler designs, simplify the data set, compare with pie charts, bar charts, get out your pencil and paper, compare what you find with pencil and paper, compare with previously existing images of the same data set or similar data sets, and then crowdsource, ask a crowd what they think, like VizGuides, for example. Those are 4 very good strategies to ascertain if something is correct or not. And there are more. We won't go into. We could have a whole lecture on just that topic. Any other questions about assignment 1? Now this time, oh, Carrie?
Where exactly do you put the physical copy?
I believe you give it to Haley Elliott, the student secretary, the one, I think it's 015, maybe, or the reception office. Ask at the reception office. But Haley Elliott is ultimately responsible for that.
That the main reception, the co-rec?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. You can find her there, definitely. At this time last year, I got a blast of about 18 questions from the class. So I was expecting more.
Sorry.
Yeah. Name?
Faris.
Faris.
So are you going to be assessing on, I know it sounds like an obvious question, but in terms of data preparation, you said you can interpret the visualization and see how correct it is.
Yep.
I mean, to what level of correctness do you expect? Is there sort of little bits of, is there an answer to that? Or?
I expect 100% correctness. And I have a lot of experience. I may as well warn you. I have a lot of experience. And I can see when things have gone wrong. And a lot of people try to fool me, and it generally doesn't work. When you get experience with this sort of thing, you can generally spot, like, when people are trying to fool you or play games or shenanigans and stuff like that. So I would expect 100% correctness.
I'm not trying to fool you.
Yeah.
I'm not a kind of
I never said you were trying to fool me. But like, if you submit something that's incorrect, I can usually spot it. I can't always spot it, but I can usually spot it. Yeah. Now, if you do have questions, I am not going to be checking my email on Saturday and Sunday going, oh, can I answer student questions? It's not going to happen. But you probably will have questions on the weekend, yeah? I have done a very special service for you already, and I have put together a playlist, questions and answers on visualization data assignments. And there are 19 videos there already with like 100 questions and answers on there. So if you have a question, check it out. Chances are somebody else has asked it or something just like that, and the answer is sitting there. You also have VizGuides. Maybe the VizGuides will look at the stuff over the weekend. That's very risky, though. So, and then I know what you're thinking. Oh, but Bob, I don't want to watch 19 videos. Yeah, I understand. The questions are written in the comments section of the videos. So if you're looking for your question, you don't have to watch the videos. You can just look in the comments section and try to find your question. Yeah. So some of you are secretly happy, I think, and some of you are secretly annoyed because I'm giving you fewer and fewer excuses not to do extremely well on the assignment. Like you have fewer excuses. Like all the information is there, sitting at your fingertips. It's like on your phone. You can just use your phone. Like everything is there. So it's hard to wriggle out of this and not have the responsibility for your own destiny. Good. If there are questions, feel free to interrupt at any time.